The book of Revelations is penned by John, but authored by Jesus. You must understand the book is divided into three categories, and it divides itself when it explains itself by saying, John, write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter. So when John writes about seeing Jesus with his hair like lamb's wool and his feet as if they had been burned, he is writing about what he has seen. When he writes to the churches, he is writing about the things which are. And when God says, come up hither, I will show you the things which shall be hereafter. This is the syllabus from which Revelation is written. It is the masterpiece because it is Jesus responding to the question that the disciples asked him, when shall be the sign of your coming and what shall be the end of the age? He said, it is not given to the Son to know, but the Father which is in heaven, because he had not yet been to the cross. But the book of Revelations is him writing back over the balconies of heaven down to John to answer the question, though John himself is a remnant. John is a remnant because all the other apostles are now gone, and John is all that's left. And Jesus is talking to a remnant about a remnant. Wonder how many of you are the only one left, still standing with stubborn, bodacious faith and tenacity, unrelenting, unwavering, standing by yourself, standing in the integrity of who you are in Christ, even when other friends have gone in other directions. And yes, you have suffered some losses along the way, but you are still here. You see, the text in Revelation 3 is largely a clarion call to strengthen the remnant, because all that stood around the remnant had really fallen away. They had a reputation that they were alive, but they really were not. They had been so influenced by the culture and the world around them that they had lost their identity in exchange for popularity. If you're not careful, you can lose your identity seeking popularity and lose sight of who you are trying to fit in with who they want you to be. And the church had lost its way trying to pursue the culture. You had to be relevant to the culture. And they were so relevant to the culture that they had lost sight of who they were. And the book of Revelation says that only a remnant was recognizable. I want to be in the number of people who resist the trends and winds of fluctuation and know who I am, so that I don't get caught up in the current of who you want me to be and lose sight of who God created me to be. Even if I end up on the table, I would rather be a few in number and know who I am than to be diluted and polluted by public opinion until I lose all sight and direction and uniqueness of my own self. That means I'll do it if I have to do it by my... That means you don't have to like me, but you do have to respect me. You don't have to agree with me, but I refuse to let you discard me, because I'm willing to be a remnant, even if it's at the expense of not being relevant to you. Because God works with remnants. He says, strengthen the things that remain before the influence of the world has taken root. There are still a few people in Sardis that are yet holding on. The tolerance of sin had taken its toll. A deadly spiritual cancer known as complacency had unknowingly made its way into the church and sucked the spiritual life out of it without even a fight. But not the few. They were still holding on while he rebuked the church at Sardis, he did not rebuke the remnant. Instead, he revived it. And the Lord said, I am going to revive the people who are holding on. So you might be tired, and you might be winded, and you might be frustrated, and you might be alienated, and you've been asking God, how long? God said, I am going to revive the remnant who are still holding on in spite of the storms and the winds. And he said, I want you to focus not on who left, not on who you lost, not on who walked away. I want you to focus on strengthening that which remains. Oh, this is good to my soul. The letter is harsh and straightforward. It is designed and written to the pastor where to focus his energy, not to focus your energy on trying to get back people who walked away. Let them go. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Let them go. This is a time in your life that you can no longer continue to grieve about who walked away, who abandoned you, who forsook you, who left you, who walked away. You've got to stand up and recognize that God doesn't need anything that you lost to bless you. God will always use what you've got left.